Shit. Yeah, here's the dog skipping. Good job. No, those are SAC. Those are Strategic Air Command.
Morning.
Okay, Kitty. Yeah, buddy. Good.
Was Bob just giving us the finger?
Looks like it.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Got to get the dog fed, you know.
Hello. Bob, you all right?
Yep. That South Florida sun. I like it, but it doesn't like me.
My dad's got the same problem.
Yep. Tell Raph I saw his girlfriend.
So what?
I saw your girlfriend.
Oh, the doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like she saw you too.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. How's she doing?
She good as ever. Good as ever. Her kid is 2 years old now.
Oh, really? I didn't know she had a kid.
Well, 2 years ago, I guess.
Ralph, does this come as a surprise to you?
That's how that works.
And I got to tell you, she showed me a picture of her little girl.
Right?
Her little girl is gorgeous.
Well, she ain't too shabby herself.
Well, that goes without saying. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that this is a gorgeous baby.
Oh, I would say too. Let's see a close up here. Hold on, we're gonna. She ought to come in and sit on your lap during. She'd get something out of Ralph's demo.
Give me a second.
Yeah, okay.
I want her to fall asleep, so we'll do it while Ralph's demo's going on. Hey,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
All right.
Is it raining there yet?
It's been raining here all night.
Yeah.
Raining up here.
Nah, she already went to sleep.
That's maybe a good thing.
Well, hubba hubba, what's important?
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Raining.
By the way, if you're a member of the AAW and you signed up for the symposium, I've been watching the videos again, and some of them are very worthwhile to go back to. So,
Yeah, Cindy's was good.
yes, it was excellent. And of course, she predicted she would break the finial, and she did.
She did.
But she had a good plan of attack. She had the other one to finish it up.
Yeah.
Are there any repeats of those available now?
You have to have registered for the symposium, and they're online. If you registered for the symposium, they're online now in the events, and you go to virtual symposium and you can watch them again.
But they did.
And in the event it went by you, you're out of luck. Is that right?
Yep. Because what they did is they sent you an email with a link to get to it.
Yeah, okay.
So if you didn't get an email from the AEW, that means
That means I didn't ante up.
that's correct.
And for the $20.20, it was worth it. I mean, Cindy Drozer's was worth it.
Yeah, and she had one at 6 o'clock that night too. That was pretty decent too.
I'll look that up. Is that taped, or was that just a?
She didn't know what she was going to do with it. She didn't want to put it on her website because she felt that if people paid money to see it, she wasn't going to give it out there free. So she was going to work with the AEW to get it on the website or the AEW. Also, I see as I was selecting or going through their email, they also they made a guidebook like they usually, not a guidebook, but they made a, what did it say? A handout book. They have one of those online too. I didn't realize they did that.
I saw that. I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. There's some how-tos in there, just like they normally do. The nice thing about these books, when you go to the symposium, is they give you, this isn't the one for the virtual, because I didn't want to print everything out. But
Well, you can do is save it online and put
yeah,
it in.
exactly.
You know,
But like I say, they have some pretty decent how-tos in it.
Cool.
You know, step by step.
Good morning,
Hey.
everybody. Hello, how are you?
You haven't cut yourself, have you?
No, not yet.
Still got all your fingers?
I'm still surviving with the 10 fingers and everything right.
Morning,
No,
Danny.
hello. Hey, they didn't allow me to go to my garage yesterday, so I'm still here. I didn't have opportunity to see that.
Oh.
You didn't go to the
But I
garage
will.
yesterday?
Sorry?
You didn't go out and try it?
Not yet.
Oh,
Can
my
you believe it? Yeah. I got a bandsaw, Dave and everybody, Mike, and so that's why I'm super happy today.
Good, good. Now you can start turning those blanks, make round pieces for your lady.
Yeah, but slowly I have to learn how to deal very well with that machine. It scares me a little bit.
Danny, here's the secret of that bandsaw. Think
Oh my
of,
God, Mike.
no, here, this is very important. Think of it as a bicycle. Your hands are on the handlebars of a bicycle and they never go in the front of the center post or the blade. Okay, so when you turn your hands so you continuously on the edges or side of the bandsaw, never in front of the bandsaw blade.
Okay. Okay.
What
Thank
if you ride? What if you ride a unicycle?
Hands on the side, never in front of the blade.
Where did you come up with that?
This is all.
You know, my
This is
parents
all.
ask me that every day.
Obviously, you rode a unicycle and fell a couple times.
No, I've never had the guts to ride a motorcycle. I mean,
I said
unicycle.
unicycle.
Yeah, I've never had the guts.
Danny,
Yeah.
I want to disagree with David a little bit. The most important way to not cut your fingers is to have a very, very sharp blade.
Oh,
Yes,
So
absolutely.
then you're not pushing hard.
yes.
Exactly.
So if it
Absolutely.
gets
Okay.
dull, change the blade and keep that blade guard down right on top of it.
Exactly.
Don't
All
do
of
it
the
like you
safety.
saw me do it.
I'm recovering and I'm. Oh yeah, I
there's
know.
a-
I have my this image record in my mind, but
There's a
I'm
very
waiting.
there's a
Sorry.
very good video by Randy Snodgrass on Carter Tools.
Alex,
On
Alex Snodgrass.
Alex.
Alex Snodgrass.
Alex
I told her about
Snodgrass.
that one.
Yeah, that's on setting up your bandsaw. It's a wonderful video.
Alex, what's the last name?
Snodgrass, SNOGRASS, and it's on
S-N-O-D, Snod, S-N-O-D, grass,
Okay.
G-R-A-S-S.
and
Okay,
it's on
Snodgrass.
Carter Tools. It's on the Carter Tools website, I think, as well.
Okay.
And it basically, if you do a Google search for setting up a bandsaw, he'll pop up.
Okay. Thank you.
But he's absolutely very correct. Keep a sharp blade. Don't press, and don't twist the blade, and keep the guard within 1/4 of an inch of the top of the highest part of your thing.
That should be. We should do that as a one of these Sunday or one of these classes, like bandsaw safety, how to set it up, how to maintain it, how to keep maintenance, how to know when it's sharp or not sharp. That would be a great. I mean,
The best tips of the experts, no?
obviously, as a newbie, it's great for me. I'm sure for you guys, it's like, another one.
Hey,
Well, that's not necessarily true because you always pick up something when you
Yeah.
see.
and if nothing else, you remind yourself of the
What not
safety rules.
Yep.
You know, do it like I'm supposed to do it, not like I do it.
It's a great point.
Yeah, always move the tool rest when you're always shut the machine off when you move the tool rest.
Like you do, Ralph, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I was
How
going
is-
to tell you that I was going to probably leave about 11 o'clock because my roofer was going to come, but
I don't think the
I-
roofer's coming today.
I don't think so.
Mm.
You got to be positive. You got to think positive, guys, not negatively.
Yeah.
So Ralph may not want to tell you this, but he's made the circuit. Now he's doing demos for other clubs, virtual demos.
Oh, really?
Yep, he did one for the Gold Coast Thursday night.
Whoa.
Big time.
Yeah, we're going professional here.
Ralph, don't get
Yeah.
too big. Don't drop us.
Yeah, that's the
remember
point.
your roots.
No, not going to happen.
He's not going to drop us. He's just going to charge us.
There you go.
Well, they do pay a little better,
Yeah.
They
Oh.
paid you?
sort of. They paid me the way we pay you. We pay
Oh.
us. So
And that was their first demo too. They were kind of gun shy for a long time. So they finally I guess after Ralph attended a couple meetings, he got used to them.
Well, I had offered to do it the very first time, and they didn't seem to want to do it. And they had, how many meetings, Dave, have they had?
Well, about the same number. Let's see, we started in April, right? Maybe
I think so.
April. They started around May.
So,
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had their meetings without a demo, and I tell you, that's they were lucky if they drug out the meeting to a half hour. But so it's a little tougher to have a meeting that way without a demo.
Yeah.
especially when you got kids in the background.
Yeah, or dogs.
Yeah, kids, dogs, and televisions.
Yep.
So, but
I think I'm late. I was late today, but I don't know if you discuss or talk a little bit about the symposium. But you that already participating in other symposiums, what did you think about it, of this one? Any comments?
Yeah, that overall, I thought it was pretty good. It's like any symposium, you don't know what the demonstrator is going to be like till you actually see it. And I guess some of us commented it already that Mike Mahoney is better off doing demos than talking about historical facts. So that was a little, yeah.
yeah, that first demo, quote unquote, that he did was, I think he was totally unprepared for that.
Yep.
And
Which one was that?
the first one he did on
35 years of wood turning.
I think that was on Friday, Dave?
Yeah, that was the third one, I think.
I
Yeah, Friday. It was Friday.
Friday. It was on
But
Friday. So it was
did-
after Rudy Lopez did the little goblet.
Yeah. Well, he did say that he was up all night putting his files together because he lost them, so that could have been part of it. But he talked pretty much about people that that mentored him or how he got into it. But I've seen him demonstrate, and he's one of these guys that that turns at 4,000 RPMs. That's all he's got is 0 to 4,000. He doesn't do anything in between, but he does a lot of production work. He sells rough anyways, that's enough of him. But the rest of it was pretty good. And Cindy Droza, that's the first time I've seen her. I never went to see her before, but I won't do that again. And her website is amazing too. She's really got, well, anyways, enough of it. She's worth going to YouTube and watching some of Cindy Droza.
Oh yeah.
ZDA.
she's fantastic.
Oh yes.
She's fantastic.
Yes, yes. And they had a woman there, Beth Ireland, talk about women in turning. Kay sat in for that one. She liked that.
She
I
was
took
very,
classes
she was
with her.
excellent.
Yep.
I took a class with her up last summer. She was my instructor, intro to woodworking. She's a fantastic teacher. Like, she's got that class down super well.
Yeah.
Where did you have it, Saul?
Oh no, this was in Maine.
Woohoo!
She works a lot with the Center for Furniture Crafts. I think it's the CFC Center for Furniture Craftsmanship up in Maine, which is like a beautiful school. And I went there for a month last year.
Guys, she
Teaches
just
a lot of
moved.
intro courses, and then she also teaches. They do a 12-week turning intensive that she teaches. Like, it's a 3-month turning intensive that she does.
One thing I noticed when she was talking is she just moved to St. Petersburg,
Yep.
Florida.
Yep.
So we might be able to do some discussions with her and see about getting
I
her.
spoke to her
down.
about that when I was up there. The thing is, she's well, now with COVID, not so much, but before, when I mentioned her, she's like, I'd love to. When the next time in Miami, I'll let you know. But she was she travels a lot because she teaches at a lot of different schools.
She has a truck that she teaches from. Maybe she could bring that.
From what she told us, she sold it and got rid of it. She was done
Oh,
with it.
okay. Yeah, she seems
did
to
that
be
for
very
2 years
mobile.
straight.
Very mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, she did it for 2 years straight. Loved it.
David Gladman, how are you standing on your head so well?
What?
How are you standing on your head so well? You're getting better.
Yeah, my phone doesn't work like my iPad or my computer, so.
Ah,
Okay.
now you're sideways.
Sideways. Now you're sideways. Let's see. Ah. Okay. Everyone else. All right. Maybe I can do that this way. Is it correct? Yeah, there you go. Okay.
But finally, the other thing she's doing right now is really, it's not turning, but it's really, really
Yeah.
awesome. She makes beautiful dulcimer guitars.
Yeah, it's all more like woodworking. Yeah, she does a lot of woodworking, cutting
Yeah.
boards and different inlays. That's
She showed me the video of her doing like the 11-foot long Roman columns that she does out of a log on a lathe, and it's incredible.
Great. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Paula.
Here
Talking about-
recovering from the COVID that we got last
So
week.
you got COVID too?
Yeah,
Whoa.
me and my husband. Yeah,
Let me go get a mask.
yeah, better. Yeah.
too late now.
Wow. You know, I don't want to get political, but it's funny that the two Brazilians got
Morning,
Yeah.
Paula.
Paula, the worst part is that between we tested positive, but we were apart without
We haven't
seeing
seen each other. Yeah,
a
it's
long time. So I thought about that. Probably people that know it, both of us, is thinking, okay, you were together and then having fun.
Yeah,
Not even
yeah.
that.
We
So,
that's a good thing. We haven't seen each other because we are gonna blame the other one for the.
Hey, but I saw you and I didn't get anything.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you saw that we kept distance.
This
And
thing.
all my family, this is something interesting for everybody because I was tested positive. It was in July 1st. And then all my family, my husband and my two daughters didn't get anything. They tested twice negative. So thank God this is, and I'm over now.
Did you have any symptoms? Do you feel it?
No, very, very minor symptoms like sore throat and but that's it. I didn't get fever.
You could have had a false positive. Were you tested more than once?
I just did another one now, but I'm actually the sore throat and actually some symptoms mild, but it was like people that had positive. I compared and it was more or less the same. So I think it wasn't negative. And I had just came back from LA, so Los Angeles. So I stayed in the plane and I had contact there with people with no masks, and I was wearing my mask, but it's
on the
didn't
plane.
work.
People not wearing masks. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Where was she coming from?
LA.
Oh, that's a big door.
But that's good. I'm fine.
Where's Ralph? Who's doing a demo today? Anyone? Demos? No?
Well,
Have you attended to
No, there he
the
is.
AA?
Okay.
oh yeah, I'm here.
Did you attend to the AA symposium?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah.
I loved it too. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was
Good
great.
presenters. Good presenters.
I was really sick, so I had the whole day to stay in the sofa just watching all the. But I really enjoy it. I really learned a lot too.
So you
Well,
got pretty sick, huh?
Sorry?
You got pretty sick?
My husband was worse than me, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a lot of fever and a cough, and he started first, and then
Wow.
yeah. But now we have 2 weeks through
Quarantine.
it, so we are much better. Yeah, we are feeling very well right now.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you guys are feeling better.
So guys, everyone, take care. wear masks. But we are wearing masks all the time too. So it's something really.
Yeah.
You never know.
But FYI about the symposium, if you want to rewatch it, it's on the website. And if you signed into the symposium, you can sign in. Ralph,
Yeah, I
you okay?
received the links
I gotta watch it.
for rewatching it.
That
Yeah.
group.
I didn't watch everything, but I'm going to review all of them. Take a look to see which one.
You got to do it before July 30th.
Okay.
July 30th, it seems that it's gonna.
And I really enjoy how they have set all the cameras and the zoom and it's like something really, really professional and really you can see everything and all the angles and.
Yeah, one other thing to look online is they have a symposium manual, and you could print it out, but obviously you can also save it digitally. So you might want to do that. It's got all the different instructions.
Oh,
this is
I
what
didn't know that.
This manual was the one that the guide was the one that Dave was showing you.
Yeah.
Showing on the
Look, Dave has it.
That was last year's.
Okay.
Oh, I couldn't.
They have this year's, and you could either, I'm going to just save it digitally.
Great.
Oh, great.
Are you all right?
Who?
You, it's raining out there.
Yeah, it's raining. I had to lower the door in my shop, and because I've got a steel roof with no insulation, and the sound's a little hard to hear.
Well, we hear you. At least right now, we hear you fine.
Yeah, I can't hear you guys, some of you.
Oh.
So,
Okay, this is our opportunity to say everything we want to about Ralph.
It's
Ralph is the greatest guy ever.
Thanks, Saul.
Fantastic. I can't believe.
So.
Hey, Paula, while we wait for the demonstration, why don't you sing us a song with the guitars?
Oh,
yeah,
for
we
sure.
can sing it.
No, I don't play anything.
Oh, not even Calillo Brown?
No.
Samba la Bahia. Samba la Bahia.
So
David, you're muted, so we can't hear.
David, you're muted. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
He's a bass player. Carlitos Brown is a bass player, is he not?
Oh.
He plays bass.
I see him dancing.
He writes. Yeah. Oh.
I got to see him in Bahia.
Wow.
Wow.
During Carnaval.
That's on my bucket list. Bahia Carnival.
Before COVID was good, no?
Yes,
because it's really crowded.
Let me tell you,
I don't recommend
Carnaval in
for the
Bahia
next
was the
step.
greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, it was fun and party. It was the greatest thing ever.
I can't imagine sewing that carnival very well.
Oh man, I was 26 years old. It was the perfect time.
Last year, no? So
Yeah.
last year.
No, and we had a camarote that was like the best camarote on the strip. And we went with my friend's father, who runs Liberty Insurance in Brazil. He used to run it. And so they paid all this money, and we got to go for free and VIP.
Yeah, another level. That's why you enjoy
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
No,
Another level.
The trucks would come, and I could, if I wanted to, I could touch the band. It was such a great opportunity.
Do they throw beads? Is it like Mardi Gras? No beads.
No, we don't have
Just
beads.
dancing. Just samba, just dancing.
Just dancing.
Just dancing.
My favorite was, it's these giant 18-wheelers pumping like 60,000 watts of sound, and the band plays on top of them. And then
It's crazy.
there's a smaller truck that follows, because your ticket is a T-shirt. Like you buy a ticket to follow a truck, and it's a T-shirt. And then these guys hold a rope, and this rope is kind of like the moving club that surrounds the truck. And then they have a secondary truck that has a bathroom and a bar, so you can walk and go and get your beer.
Wow.
But the best part is you go to the bathroom and you're waiting in line and you get inside the truck and you realize that it's just, you have like 2 meters to pee in a hole that just goes to the ground and you have to.
Goes to the street.
Sideways.
And you got to make sure you finish before you get to the end.
It's crazy.
It was the best. It was really the best. And we saw so many famous musicians.
Carla?
There was a very good Brazilian concert on Facebook Live from Rhythm Foundation this week. Anyone
Oh,
see
wow.
that? It was Cloves and Cinnamon, something in Canela, local group. They were really, really good. They write their own stuff, but it was Fojo from the Northeast. It wasn't, typical Brazilian.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That Rhythm
Well,
Foundation is a great group.
Yeah, and what's his name? Gio or the, I think Gio, is that the guy's name?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just signed up to them and I get their emails.
Yeah, DNA. He's hosted it. It was great. There's been a lot of good shows on it. Yeah.
And David, how do you know so many Brazilian people? And did you have any connection with Brazil?
Totally into music. I play saxophone, other
Oh,
things.
that's nice.
It's just a hobby, and I love
Wow.
Do you know
that music.
Spam All Stars?
Sure.
Yeah. So the trombone player is a guy named
Chad
Chad.
Bernstein.
Chad Bernstein. So Chad Bernstein's best friend is my brother-in-law. So I know Chad super well.
He's amazing.
Wow.
He plays all kinds of stuff. Amazing. Yeah.
Did you hear he just had twins?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know he was
His
married.
4 kids,
Uh-huh.
and his wife just had twins.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
more
So
on top.
Saul is a professional DJ.
I was.
Oh.
I was. Yeah.
We are going to have a party with a nice DJ, a nice saxophonist, and then
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I like it. I like where this is going. We should have a wood turning annual ball.
That's right. We'll
photo wood turning
spin the music. I have thousands of discs and albums. I would love to get together with you and do some spinning.
Well, I love that. Most of mine stuff is digital, but I do have like a pretty extensive vinyl collection. Although it's really mainly singles, like when I was singles of this and that, and
well, my collection of Brazilian goes way back. It's a lot of David Byrne stuff, and he's collected
oh my God, yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
And there's
I'm a huge David Byrne fan. Huge fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we probably have similar musical tastes. Then.
Oh. If you mean good taste, then yes.
Yeah, anything that's good, that's good stuff.
nice.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello. Can barely hear anybody. I think the rain's finally letting up here. So, I didn't really have much of a demo plan for this morning. I thought maybe I would do a little bit on that little real thin stem goblet that Rudy Lopez did on the first, I guess it was the first AAW demo on Friday. But like Mike Mahoney, I'm not really prepared. So I got a little blank here. Some type of ebony, white ebony, I believe it is, that I got from Montgomery a couple of years ago. So I thought I'd play with that. Now,
Sorry to interrupt you, Ralph. Do you want me to record also?
I've got it recording. If you want to, go ahead.
All right, so I think Saul has to let me.
Oh, I didn't even realize that I had been made.
Somebody has to let me.
Yeah.
You haven't been.
Yeah, I haven't been made.
So Ralph, you've got to let me.
Does everyone have to let you? Is that the deal?
No, the reason I want to record it is to post it on our website.
Sure, but how many people have to give you consent? I don't understand why that's.
It should be the Ralph,
the
be the
host.
only one. The host needs to give me
The host.
consent.
The feature.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
normally I'm hosting just so that Ralph can do the stuff, but he just hasn't made me the host yet.
Well, he's the host, so I guess he doesn't know.
It says recording. I mean, is it not recording, Dave? It
He's
says
recording.
Ralph is recording, but last
Ralph
time we had
recorded it.
technical issues, and I think Ralph ended up losing the recording.
Well, unless you want all our comments, social comments, be posted on YouTube, that's up to you. That's why I asked to start it from the demo, but whatever. That was the
You
reason.
edit it. Isn't it? Don't you edit the thing and just do the
Nope.
the meat of it? No. Okay.
Do you know how to do the editing?
I can do the editing. I can do quick editing for that. That's easy.
All right, there you go, Ralph.
I can't hear anything you guys are saying.
All right, we'll tell you later, but
There's so much background noise with the rain on the roof of my shop that I can't hear anything. So, Saul, did you talk to David about, because you said you had to leave early?
I haven't spoken to him because the pool class got canceled. The swimming class got canceled, so I don't have to leave early anymore.
Okay, all right. All right, well, I want to switch it over to you then.
Okay.
And
see, he
if
did
I
hear
can
us,
find
Paul.
you.
All right.
All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and get started.
Ralph, let me say something really quickly. Guys, does anybody here not know how to use the mute function? Raise your hand if you don't know how to use it. All right, if everybody knows how to use it, I think this time, since we're a small group, I'm not going to just mute everybody. But if there's loud noise coming from your place or you have a phone call, just mute yourselves, okay? Let's try it out. Let's see how that works. And then if it doesn't work out, we'll go back to the old system of doing a mute all right? And then David, Piper, I gave you the right to record if you feel like recording.
I've got it. I just paused it right now. I'm going to wait till he starts the demo and click it on again. Thanks. Got it.
No problem. All right, Ralph, it's all yours.
Oh, gee, thanks. Okay, so like I said, this is just a little piece of, I think white ebony, some type of ebony that I got from Montgomery Garden over up Old Cutler. And what Rudy was saying is you want a piece of wood where the pith is off center. Now, it's kind of hard to see. I marked what looks like the actual dead center pith with a little pencil mark. Let me turn it over to the other end. I don't know if you can see that better. See that little dot there, that dark dot, two of them, but the round one is the center of the pith. And you don't want that running down the center of your piece. Otherwise, it'll have a tendency to be weak and break. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this up between centers and get a tenon on one end so I can mount it in the chuck. You're going to flip the camera, Saul?
You want me to flip it? Is that what you said? Oh, let me make you the participant spotlight. So you're spotlighted now.
There we go. Cover up the keyboard on the laptop, the shaving. Get in there. So. I'm going to use a half-inch bowl gouge for most of this project. 60 degrees on the nose, and the wings are cut way back. Just going to clean that tenon up with a parting tool. I'm going to shorten it up, make sure it doesn't hit the bottom of the jaws. Switch into one of my small 2.5-inch cups here. Make sure that when you put that in, you want to make sure that you get the shoulder tight up against the face of the jaws. So I like to put it in, give it a little turn and push against it before I tighten it up. Then I just get a little snug, and then bring my tailstock up. Go ahead and put pressure on it, push it in, and then tighten it up completely. Now, these are supposed to be a natural edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of cuts on the face here, not touching this outer rim. I'm going to switch to a smaller gouge. This is a very small piece of wood, only about 1.5 inches in diameter. a little bit more. All right, I'm going to a little bit of forming here on the outside of the cup. Starting away from the rim. Now, because, of course, this thing isn't round, you're going to get variations in width on the rim, which, of course, can't be avoided. So we're going to do a little more sneaking up on that to get it thinner. Let me get my tool rest a little closer. Check my clearance. Make sure you check your clearance when you move your tool rest. Okay, that's about as far as we can go right here. We're less than 1/8 of an inch on the rim there, so we can't really go much further. And now at this time, depending on the wood and the bark,
which one it is, so you can watch it. You can watch the whole brisket thing.
this may be a good time to hit this rim with some CA glue to make sure that that bark stays on. All right, which I'm not going to do, but just a suggestion. So now we're going to do a little bit of forming. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to drill this out now. And I'm going to use
They let me in this time.
a metal cutting bit, 3/4 metal cutting bit, and that gives you a cone shape at the bottom without any divots like a Forstner bit. Plus, because we're tapering down, this is a small piece. This is probably the best to use. I'm gonna put that up in my drill chuck. Everybody calls these a Jacobs chuck. Actually, Jacobs is a brand name. So this is actually just a drill chuck. This is a key. This is a key type, and I also have keyless. You just tighten by hand. These are the same type of chucks you stick on the end of a battery drill.
Looks like we lost Ralph.
I still see him.
Now, when you're drilling, you
Raise
want to
your
slow
hand,
your
you guys.
feet down.
I'm not sure what the situation is, guys, because, for instance, I still see him.
It looks like my internet connection is unstable again. So I'm going to slow this down to about 450. That looks pretty good right there. So get that out of the way. And if you get in the habit of putting your key in the chuck, you won't lose it. So now I'm going to hollow this cup out a little bit. Bring my speed back up. I'm turning this thing at about a little over 1800. Now I'm having trouble making the turn because the tripod for the camera is in the way of my gouge. So I'm gonna have to back this up a little bit. Don't stick your finger in there when it's running. So now would be the time. Obviously, this is a demonstration, so we're going quick. We're not making a perfect finished piece. So, you know, depending on your shape, do whatever you want to do. And as you can, I don't know if you can see, we're getting real close to the bark. So we really can't take a whole lot more. And if you wanted to even this out, you could do it with some hand sanding. Now would be the time to do it. So we'll give it a little quick sand. And then what you could do at this time, depending on what kind of finish on there, you could put some finish in there if you wanted. Wax, shellac, lacquer, whatever you're going to do. And then what we want to do is we want to bring our tailstock up. And what I've got here is on my one way, I've taken the point out, which you don't really have to, but these have threads on them. And what I've done is I've locked the threads with the pin that comes with it. And I've made a wooden nose piece, threaded. You can see those threads in there. That screws right on here. That way it doesn't mark up the inside of the cup. Now, Rudy was using some from that company called Rubber Chucky. I don't know what they're made of exactly, some type of rubber, obviously. And those would probably be even a little better because this is smooth, of course, and won't grab, where I think those rubber ones will actually apply a little friction, so you don't have to put as much pressure against it to get the support you need. We want to bring this up. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up, and I'm going to advance this in. Until it just gets enough pressure on it to spin it and give it support. But I don't want a lot of pressure because we're going to try and make this stem really thin. And if you put too much pressure as the stem gets thin, then it's going to want to bow. What you can also do, something he mentioned, and this is something I've seen in a different demo on making walking sticks and canes. In this case, what you could actually do is take some of the blue painter's tape and tape this cup to your center. Squeaking a little. There we go. All right, that's too much pressure. But anyway, take that to your center, and then actually pull back on it a little bit. So now we just come in with hole gouge and do a little more shaping on the outside here. Well, that's about annoying. Let's put some paper towel in there and see if we can stop that, which is actually spinning on there. All right. Well, I can get a better view of that. Now, I like to put a little detail right under the cup. A little bead or a little decoration. I'm going to switch to a spindle gouge to get in there. Real pointy one. So now would be the time to sand the outside, because as you go, the thinner it gets, you can't come back on it. And if you were going to apply a wax finish or a shellac finish, rub finish, now would be the time to do it and just finish it as you go. So we'll take a little more material down here. Take your time, nibble away at it. Okay, now as Rudy explained, when you're taking the majority of your material off, you're coming this way, working away from the headstock, taking a hogging cut, so to speak. You're using this side of the gouge, the top side, left side, okay? And then to get your finer finish cuts, you're using this side, which is sharper because you haven't been taking all this wood away with it. So we'll come back and go this way. If you're going to sand, just a really light touch. Sand as you go, finish as you go. And I actually said that backwards. For doing your roughing cuts, you're using the right side of the gouge, not the left. So I just said it backwards. Thought about it when I was doing that. I don't know if anybody else thought that. Now, what you can also do if this thing is flexing too much, put your finger behind it. What I do is I put my thumb on top of the gouge, put my finger behind the tip of the gouge. If you can, you can't see that. So basically, I put the wood between the tip of the gouge and my finger, and just go along and make a cut. Now, there was another thing, and I don't have one because I didn't run out to the store. Those of you that saw it, if you're going to do something with a really long stem, you can make a steady out of an old-fashioned wooden clothespin. Has a base that sits with nuts and a post that the clothespin's attached to, and you drill a hole in the jaws, clamp the jaws of clothespin shut, drill a hole through there, the diameter approximately you want to use, and that way it'll support this thing. You know, if you're doing these things, 9, 10, 12 inches long. Obviously, we don't need it on this little bitty thing. I'm not going to go a lot further with this. So I'm going to form the base. And with my preference, I like to put some type of decoration down at the bottom. Similar to what's at the top. Come back with my spindle gouge. And I'm going to have to put on some actual glasses. Oh, amazing. I can see what the heck I'm doing. I can see I've got a bit of difference in my diameter. So we'll just take a little bit away at this. Stop it and see what we've got. Yeah, we're wiggling around pretty good. So now if you use wet wood, as he was explaining, this thing will start moving around. Okay. And as you can see, this gives you a pretty good idea right there. If you can see it. Right there is the actual pith, so it's way off center, which is what you want. Very light touch with a sandpaper. I'm actually supporting the underside with my fingertip. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll part this thing off carefully. And I'm going to start down away from here and work towards the base. Give yourself room to work. Move some of this waste wood down in here. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that's still a little thick on the bottom. So we're going to come in from the bottom side, take a little bit more, although it looks fairly even all the way around, and it's pretty close to matching the rim of the top. So we may just leave it right there. And as you're coming in, you want to come in, obviously, at an angle towards the center because you want your bottom dished out and you want to try and maintain an even thickness on the bottom. You don't want it thin at the edge and thick in the middle. Otherwise, you have a lot of potential for it to open up and crack as it dries. This wood here is fairly dry, but you know, doing these with wet wood, you can get some real interesting effects where the thing will as it dries, it'll bend. Another thing he showed, he had a jig with rubber bands to lay them in and put, once you figure out which way the wood naturally wants to bend, you can put them in that jig and put a little more pressure on them with rubber bands and get them to bend even more. So let me go ahead and part this off. Now I'm going to throw a light in there because I can't see what I'm doing. That kind of blinds you guys. Sorry. See if that helps. Yeah, I can see, and now you can sort of see. Thanks, Dave Piper, for the light. I'll take a little more. I'll nibble away at this. All right. Now I'm going to back the tailstock up. Because if you part it off with a tailstock, it's just going to disintegrate on you. I'm going to support it because this is, I'm not sure how thin that is. Let me get a caliper and see what we did there. All right, let's go with millimeters and see what it says. .38 millimeters. So let me pull this tailstock out of the way. Now I'm going to start this thing slowly. And bring it up to speed, supporting it with my hand. Hopefully I can get it off of here. That's it.
Nice.
Nice work.
See, it's leaning already. Just from I guess the natural stresses in the wood, cutting that much material away, the wood's going to want to move to whatever it wants to move to. So
I'm very impressed, Ralph.
well, gee, thanks. Obviously, you can spend more time and do a bit more refining of your shapes and your wall thickness. This is fairly heavy. You know, depending on the kind of wood and how green it was. You know, what Rudy did is he turned this thing to where it was basically translucent. You know, he showed you doing it with a light. Once you get it thin, you know, put a shine a light into the cup as you're turning it. It's kind of hard to see. You're not going to see any you're not going to see any translucence on this one because it's too thick, plus the type of wood. But as you're turning, if you shine a light from the end into here, and as you're refining the outside shape, as you go, you'll see the change of color. As you remove, you know, more wood, it'll get translucent. Once you get a fairly even shade of coloration, you know you got pretty even wall thickness. Coming through the end grain shows a little differently than coming through the side grain, but you figure that out. So now this has got a little wiggle on the bottom. So what you can do, carefully put this on a sanding block and gently give it a little back and forth until it sits flat, okay? Because of course the log is not round and it's not going to sit perfectly flat. So you need to do a little handwork on that on the sander. Or you could go over to that big belt sander I got that Dave likes so much. And do that. So that's pretty much it for today on demos. Questions?
Ralph, did you finally
Very
get a new
good.
computer?
No, not yet. It's on order.
And what happened with Waldo?
Well, I went to Waldo's and I managed to get the Zoom app loaded in his computer and explained to them pretty much how to get on here. And Dave Piper was nice enough to host a Zoom meeting while I was at Waldo's. So between the two of us, we did manage to get it operational. So I'm not sure why he's not here. There may have been some technical issues in getting on. I don't really know.
But I just meant you guys were able to get it working, right?
Yes, we did get it working. We actually had a meeting between Dave Piper and Waldo's computer.
Awesome.
Out in the shop. We did get it working, and we actually did have a meeting until Zoom actually put the hourglass up there and about kicked us out because of running over time. But yeah,
maybe next time before the meeting, we can have somebody call them and help them out, because maybe they just.
I'm wondering if they have a computer in the house, because if he had a walkout to the shop, it's pouring here, so it may be pouring down in Homestead.
They do have computers in the house. I did not load the app on the computer in the house. I just did it on the shop one.
Oh, yeah, that could be it then.
But it's actually, I mean, I showed them how to do it by just clicking on the email link. And so in theory, they should have been able to load it on the one in the house, because those get the email also.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a call later today and check it out.
Yeah, tell him we all missed him.
Yeah, and see if we can't get him up and running for the next meeting. So, anybody got any questions?
Yes, I do. When you were in the beginning, when you're using your tailstock stock to the first cave and the cup of the gobble, don't you have anything that's longer that it could make the way easier to reach it, to use the tool? I don't know if you understand me.
You were breaking up a little bit, Danny.
For example, when you were with the beginning of in the beginning,
Right.
the first part that you were doing, you have the tail stalk here, and you start carving here. Now doing the first part, and it gets in your way, the tail stalk a little bit because it's thicker. It gets a little in your way to go into deeper or have more mobility with your tool. Don't you have anything that is prolongs your tail, let's say keep distance, a longer tail stalk?
You're talking about the live center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what she's trying to say is when you were doing the inside of the goblet from the very beginning, when you, like you said, Ralph, hooked up your live center to it, that you have any type of long slab that could have made that go in so you can get your tool in a little longer, like maybe a thinner live center. But I think
you can get them. Cindy Drozda sells them. She has one that has 4 interchangeable points on it, and she actually makes points for the one-way live center that replaces this center point that are extended, and I think they're 3/8 of an inch in diameter that would give you more clearance.
Okay.
You know, you could also make your own, you know, either out of wood or what I actually wanted to do, and I haven't ordered any, was ordered some of the, what the hell they call it, UHM ultra high molecular polyethylene or something. It's a plastic, fancy plastic that they do a lot of fabricating on, you know, things of jigs and stuff. And you could order some of that and thread it and screw it on there, and you could make a, you know, a screw on here and a thin long extension to give you a lot more room. You know, I mean, that's the nice thing about these centers with the threads on them, is you can make attachments to do what you want with them. And to thread them, you can buy a machine tap for a fair amount of money, or you can get a
I was wondering if you can do it with use a kind of drill that you can put a tool, or I don't know, but it's not going to turn as it has to be. I don't know. I was thinking about.
You know, if you don't want to buy a tap, you can make your own tap out of a 3/4 bolt. Just take a bolt and cut slots in it with an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, and there you've got a tap that'll cut wood.
Yeah, make sure you taper the end a little bit. Hold it up, Ralph, again. Taper the end a little bit.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier to start if you take a little bit off of here, make it a little tapered.
You know, Ralph, we haven't done that demo in a while. If you want, still got all the material. We can do the demo at some point in time again.
Well, actually, if you hang on 2 seconds, I'll show you how to make one of these in about 2 minutes, if anybody's interested.
Okay. Thank you.
We're going to come over here to the belt sander. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So come over here to the belt sander, and like David F. said, we just round it over a little bit. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this in the box over here.
David, by the way, thank you for the translation.
No problem.
Now we take the angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. You can see that. That's just a 16th inch cutoff wheel on a 4.5 inch angle grinder. Then we go. We rotate it 2 flats. We rotate it 2 more flats. Now you have a tap. See the groove cut in it there?
Mm-hmm.
There. And there. You could cut more if you wanted. You could cut one on every flat, so you'd have 6 grooves. And now you have a 3/4 tap to those attachments for your live center. So now you're a wood turner and a metal machinist, tool maker.
That's pretty heavy metal.
Yeah, it is. So, more questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Say, Ralph, I have a question on a parting tool.
Yes.
There's a lot of Cindy Droza, especially some of the other demonstrators, said that she uses more a negative rake parting tool to do a lot of her cutoffs and sand off the bottom. How does she make a parting tool into a negative rake?
Well, if you think about it, a regular parting tool.
I can answer that, Ralph.
Pardon? Go ahead, Mike.
I grind mine exactly the same way I do the negative rake scraper, an included angle of 66 degrees, 33 on each side, and just have to mark it so you remember which end is top where your burr is, and that's a negative rake parting tool. That's just the regular diamond parting tool to make sure that the 2 corners meet on the diamond in the middle. Right, exactly. That's it right there. You just grind it that way.
Yep, that's how I do mine.
Okay.
So I got
that's
it
exactly right.
Rounded on the bottom, like that, and a concave on the top is how I grind mine. And I've showed you all before. I don't have a marker out here, darn it. I might. Let me see. Yeah, I do. Some people, what I've seen them do is actually cut back the top half of the tool down to the diamond and remove all this material I'm blacking out right now. Some people actually cut them like that. Okay. But as far as the negative rake, like Mike said, basically this is negative rake. If you grind it in a normal fashion like that, or even if you grind it, you know, flat and flat, it still becomes negative rake. My real small one that I make out of Sawzall blades is basically the same thing. Can you see that point where I've cut the? So I've got the blade with this angle here, and then I put a small bevel on the bottom. Okay, same idea. And my factory bought, I didn't do that. I just use it as it came from the factory like that. It looked to me like Cindy had hers. She had one of this like this, and it looked like she had it ground like that, with all that metal up at the top removed. Okay, which allows you to get in to a tight space like the bottom of one of these. You know, she does those little fancy boxes that are very small, and you need, you know, small tools to be able to get into those tight places. You know, I thought that was very interesting, the way she made those inlays on that box that she did the demonstration on. You know, cutting in a different piece of wood, decorative color wood, you know, to make an inlay there at the rim of the lid, and then use the cutoff from that on the base of the box.
Okay, so that made it clear. I didn't realize it, but I do have a couple scrapers that I do have that profile on it, Ralph. And now after what Mike said, now I understand you really do have a negative rate. So once you just remember where you come up from the bottom, use it that way. So that makes sense.
Right.
You're right. Just had to think about it. See the picture. I had to see the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I forget which one of the I think it was the last guy, Timmerman, was using he said, this is a negative rate scraper, but everybody's going to look at it and say it's just skew, which actually, if you think about it, I mean, so you take your skew, and if you lay it sideways and just scrape with it, it's basically a negative rate scraper.
Yep.
And take the edge right off of it. So if you're going to turn around and try and use it as a skew like it's supposed to be, then you better sharpen it up again. So if we got any more questions?
Yeah, Ralph, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you back up just a little bit? Maybe connect the dots. You made a tap out of a bolt,
right?
A few minutes ago, and I'm thinking back to the jig you made to go into the throat of your piece, and I'm thinking, did you put the threads on that with a tap, or did you do it with a bolt, or what? Follow that through. Would you connect the dots?
I did it with the bolt. Where the hell is
That's a big bolt, right?
3/4.
Okay.
These
and you have to get the threads right. It's a 3/4 10 threads per inch.
Right. The this here is one-way live center, and
yeah,
this is a Powermatic live center, which is a copy. There's another company making these. I think they're called Savannah,
And Robust also has them.
Who's that?
Robust also has one.
He has one that's similar in shape, same idea, and same threads. I would think it would be the same threads, 3/4 10. And so this one here, they have a hole through it so that you can slide a pin through.
Yeah.
To stop it from rotating, obviously.
Right.
And this piece of wood is threaded with a bolt. I may use this bolt to cut my threads in there. You can see the threads there. You want to use, obviously, you want to use a piece of wood that's fairly hard that will take threads. You know, some as we were at the demo that Tiffany did on bottle stoppers. So that screws right on there, obviously now because it's got threads in it. But I can take a blank chunk of wood, drill the appropriate size hole, and I believe I'd have to look up the.
It's 1/8 of an inch smaller.
So basically, take a 5/8 drill bit, drill a hole, and then, you know, go ahead and cut your threads. You know, obviously it's going to cut a little harder than it would be with a regular store-bought machine tap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the bolt, now this is a stainless bolt that I just happen to have some left over from back when I was working. But you can get a regular steel bolt for probably under $5 this size. Or you could get a little fancier and get a grade 8, which is a harder steel.
You don't want to use a grade 8. It's hard to grind. I've tried it. You know, a grade 5 is really all you need.
So, okay. And then once you get your threads in there to make your different pieces, what I do is I go ahead and I screw my blank on here. So this is a square chunk of wood or a round chunk, whatever you got. You know, you can make it out of scraps.
Then you turn it to size. Is that the idea?
Exactly. So what I do then is screw it on, and I mount my live center in the headstock, of course. Okay, so it's turning. And obviously what you have to do is lock the live center. Otherwise, you won't be able to turn it. So what you got to do is get a nail, works good. Find a nail that's very, very close in size to the hole. This pin is a little bit loose because you get some wiggle in there. Okay, so if you get a nail that's really close to this size diameter, or a pin of steel, anything, brass, you know, whatever you got, and put it in there, and of course, bend it over on each side so that it doesn't come flying out. And then you can turn this in your headstock and whatever shape, you know, accessory that you want.
You know, Ralph, one day I temporarily lost my the rod that comes with the one way.
Right.
But I just keep some Allen wrenches.
Yeah, Allen wrenches work fine.
It works great. You know.
I've actually used a. Sometimes if you don't pay attention and you leave this center pin in, okay, and you turn a lot of wet wood, the crap gets in there, and this pin gets really stuck in there. And to drive that out, if you try and drive it out with this little rod, it'll just bend. So what I've actually done is I've taken a 3/16 by 6 masonry drill bit and, you know, worn out one that I don't care about, and just slip that in there and give it a good whack, and it'll knock that pin out because it's got some meat to it. This pin is very small diameter, and you know, because of the diameter and the length of it, you start hammering on that, it's just going to bend. I don't know if you can see this one's I've straightened this out a few times, but if I roll it, you'll see it's not perfectly straight like it came from the factory. And I'm thinking about, you know, getting some of that that plastic material. There's different types of plastic. You go online and look up UHMB or something. There's several different ones. You can buy that in bar stock, you know, round bars. You can buy that in squares, I think. You can buy it in sheets. I've actually got some I've got some plastic here. It goes by the brand name of Starboard. Comes in sheets. You can get this stuff in sheets at Shell Lumber, pieces, small pieces. And this is excellent for making fixtures. You know, you could make a donut chuck out of it. Would be really nice, because this machine's fairly nice. It's a little messy to turn, similar to, you know, when you're turning acrylics. It comes off in ribbons. It's kind of smelly. So depending on what you do with your wood shavings in your shop, I sweep them all up, put them in a barrel, take them out and put them in the front yard to get rid of the grass. That way I have less grass weeds to mow. But you don't want to mix a bunch of plastic shavings in with that stuff if you're going to spread it around the yard. So anything else?
Very good.
Oh, do we call it?
Ralph, what kind of camera are you using? What should we look for if we look online?
I will send out a link to it. I actually supplied that information to Bud Hall the other day after the meeting. I'll forward you that same email. It has several different things, information on the camera. And, you know, I had originally thought about using I have a GoPro that I bought, and I wanted to originally use that, figuring I already had a camera. And it turns out to use the GoPro, the one I've got, you've got to get another device, which, you know, I think, as I've said before, due to everybody in the world having to use this Zoom format to do meetings like we are, and business, of course, these devices are sold out basically everywhere, and what normally retails for $129, I see on Amazon for anywhere between $250 and $350 for the same product. So obviously I'm not going to do that, but I'll send you an email on you know, what the camera I bought. It was like $49 plus tax, I think. They charged me tax on it. So just over $50, and I bought it directly from the manufacturer. And they actually have on their website, they have a little note there, limit two cameras per household. So, you know, I guess to, you know, make more for everybody else, and then I guess keep people from buying 100 of them and then turning around and selling them on eBay or whatever. Because I actually, this particular camera I got I saw them on the same exact model, the list price from the manufacturer, like $49.95. And I saw this same one on Amazon. People were trying to get $150 for it. So. Any more questions?
All right. Let's call it.
I think that's
You okay with that, Ralph?
Well, I can't hear you.
I said, you want to call it?
I guess if nobody's got any more questions or anything they want to share, if anybody wants to share any work they've been doing.
Anybody? Going once?
Yep.
no.
Twice? Oh, there.
Dave.
Piper, let's see.
Well, what I've got here, let me go here so I can see what I'm doing. I did my first attempt at a platter. I don't know if you can see it, mahogany platter.
Let's see, Ralph.
Bring it a little closer, Dave.
There, how's that? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's mahogany, a couple pieces of mahogany. I'll tell you, I took it over to Mike Chrysler's shop. I had a piece of mahogany. I tell you that that fixture he's got, Waldo's got one too. That car makes it where for resawing, you just clamp the piece in there and it cuts it right in half. You know, you set it up so you cut this. So I have another piece like this. My first attempt was I made a funnel out of it. So what I did is, it's on the lathe now. So I put a piece of wood on the bottom because I use the mortise to hold it so I can go back and work on it. So now, right now, what I'm doing is I'm putting a Ikebana in the other one. But the thing about this is I was just messing around with the grooves. It's not really a plate. I think it's more like a design. So since it's raining out today, today's a good day to go in here and do some rose engine work on the center.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, just to add with that bunch. It's not a bead. It's just that when I'm turning it, I go in with my bowl guide, go on gouge and make these ridges. I don't know if you can see it. There's
The name Callaway.
not a round bead.
Okay. Oh, it's a baby. Yes.
See?
Who's?
Oh.
We're having a hard time. Somebody's talking about a baby. It's not funny.
I think your mic might be.
Yeah, that's, I was going to try to say, all I'm seeing is Ralph.
Oh, you can't see Dave Piper?
Only in the little thumbnail at the top of the screen. The
Oh,
main image is Ralph.
let me
Yes, I'll change them from
off
spotlight.
spotlight.
Yeah, switch that back.
You see it? David, start talking again.
All right. Can you see it now? Can you see me now?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, there's the ridges. It's like, I guess you still call them a bead, Ralph, but they're not rounded beads.
I would just call them ridges.
Yeah, ridges. So you come in with your, I use a 40 degree on it, bowl gouge, and just go in so far, come up, go in so far, up, up, up.
Steps.
Steps, there you go.
Steps.
And here's what the bottom, you know, again, that's it's a piece of mahogany. And this one I used rub-on poly. When you got this, it's better to do the bottom before you start doing the top. So I did rub-on poly 2 or 3 coats and then put wax over it. So I think I'm getting close.
Flatter with your platter.
Yep, there you go. So it's a little heavy yet, but that's my first platter attempt.
That looks cool, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So it's a looking at platter.
One funnel and 1 platter. Kay said to smile. She's here giving me instructions.
Behind every good man, right?
There you go. Yep, 49 years.
All right. Does anybody else have anything for show and tell? All right. Well, going once, going twice. Sold.
Oh.
Gentlemen and lady, Please have a wonderful 2 weeks until or whatever the next meeting is. I'm assuming it's in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if
well,
not, we'll see you guys on a Thursday.
need somebody to come up with some demos unless you guys are probably tired of seeing me.
I never tire. Dave, why don't you do a play? If you feel, I don't want to put you on the spot, so I'm sorry if I do, but you could do it on the platters. I would love to see that.
Let's see what I can come up with.
Yeah, try it out, test it out, because I'm personally very interested in the platters.
Still a little on the thick side, but
doesn't matter.
Let's see. Yeah, it does matter.
It's always nice to see that.
Yep. Maybe I can. Yeah.
Well, look, no pressure, obviously.
Yep,
you know, this is.
No, I don't take it.
Good.
My pressure days are over. I'm retired. I don't have to worry about it'll affect my review. You know.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. We'll have a good one. I'm signing off, which will mean that everybody will shut off at the same time. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so again. Thank you, Ralph, a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ralph.
Everybody
Stay safe.
for showing up.
Stay safe.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you.